whether you are bedroom only or 24/7 lifestyle. Whether you identify as kinky, non-monogamous, BDSM, leather, fetish. Dating Kinky is packed full of practical information and proven tips and suggestions to find and connect with the right person or people for love, sex, play, friendship, and more. Welcome to the Dating Kinky Book Club, presented by Dating Kinky and Curiouser.life. Hello, everyone. Facebook, YouTube, Moan. Happy to be here with you today and talking about the third chapter for the third episode of Dating Kinky Book Club. So what I'm doing in this book club is I am going through the book that I wrote, Dating Kinky, and talking with you about it and getting a little deeper into each chapter. For those of you who do not know me, hello, I'm Heather, also known as Nookie or Miss Nookie. I am a hedonistic, dominant cuckoldress pimptress who is polyamorous and monoromantic. I live a woman in charge lifestyle with my partner of nearly 10 years. It is full of love, sex, passion, adventure, and exploration. I write books, I teach workshops, and I offer coaching for better love, sex, romance, and kink for people of all genders, relationship statuses, orientations, and more. Hello, Sabyasachi. Hello, that guy over there. Hello, Rob. Lovely to see you all. So how do you write about yourself in a profile? How do you capture who you are? How do you make yourself seem interesting to the right people? Now, this morning, I actually went live talking about the idea of beautiful versus interesting. But how do you make yourself seem interesting to the right people? How do you stand out? In this third live episode of the Dating Kinky Book Club, that's exactly what we're going to be tackling. Not only how to write your profile, but quite possibly how to view your own basics in a whole new light. Please don't forget to comment or ask your questions in chat. If you are on Moan, please comment in the chat. Near the end of this episode, I'll invite people to come up on stage if you would like to be a part of this. I do love engaging, and I keep an eye on the scroll pretty much at all times so that I can answer your questions, clarify, etc. And right now, the furry little gray dominant of the household, Birdie, is climbing into my lap. So let me get her settled, and now we can move forward. Woohoo! Okay, now that I have a cat in my lap, building a kinky dating profile is like building a pyramid. You need a strong foundation of basics. And frankly, a lot of those basics are going to be vanilla. Because while you're kinky and you're wanting to connect with kinky others, kink itself is not going to fill up every moment of every day that you spend with someone, right? I mean, it's not possible. So you're going to have to be humans together first, which honestly is probably the part I see missing most often when people come to me for dating coaching or assistance. The human part. For some reason, people think that, like, okay, well, if I put my, spread open butthole out there, then people are going to want it. That's not how this all works, right? People like doing kinky fuckery with people they like, generally speaking. Yes, every once in a while, you're going to find somebody who just wants to do the things. It's rare. It's few and far between. Or as I like to say, it's possible, but not probable. Okay? So let's get started talking about our kinky dating profile pyramid, with the first level, the basics. Today, we're going to talk about your characteristics, your hobbies and interests, your relationship styles, including current relationships, your feelings, what makes you dateable, how out are you, and lifestyle factors. Okay? So there's a wide variety of things that should go into any dating profile. We'll get started in just a minute, but if you're on Facebook or YouTube, please like this video and share it. It's a huge help for me to have people recommend me to their friends and groups or pages online, and I really appreciate it. And thank you so very much. It is an honor when y'all do recommend me to people. So, characteristics. Last week, we took on the topic of core values. You can still find that episode up on the Dating Kinky YouTube. It will come down probably this weekend or Monday, depending on when my assistants get to it. Your core values from last week help to define your character traits, or how you would describe yourself to others. Hello, Jay, and welcome. Of course, I gave you a full list last week, but here are a few examples. Empathetic, honest, charming, brave, fun-loving, friendly, and so on. So, how do these core values help define your character? Well, for example, if you're fun-loving, you're more likely to try to find the fun in various situations. When kindness is important to you, your actions will show it even when you're feeling down or someone has caused you pain. When honesty is a value you hold dear, you'll always speak the truth, even when it's tough or doesn't necessarily serve your own goals. And if a generous spirit is what you embody, nothing feels more fulfilling than giving and getting nothing in return. Well, actually, not nothing, because no one can give everything and receive nothing. But feel happy giving as long as your needs are met in a relationship, right? This is part of the boundaries work we do in my Take No Shit workshop, which is available as a standalone program for $47 at takenoshit.curiouser.life, or as part of our Dating Kinky Plus membership for $9.99 per month. And I've been writing a book about boundaries, and it's available to you as I write them live. In fact, I'm in the editing process right now as part of that Take No Shit workshop. But back to characteristics. Our core values guide us on our life journey, right? Our character traits showcase the unique quirks and qualities that make us, let's say, utterly charming and irresistible, right? So if you want to stand out from the crowd, embrace your individuality in your profile, your whole self, not just your kinky self, and showcase who you are. So let's take a moment to reflect on your characteristics. And if you're willing to, type into the chat, I would love it. I'd love it if you would share. Can you think of some words that describe you as a person? Are you honest? Are you open? Are you friendly? Are you kind? For me, I think I'm all of those things. I'm silly. I'm a fun dominant. I like to laugh when I hit people. I am not a sadist. I am not a masochist either. I love to read. I'm a super geek, right? Learning is a core value of mine, right? Self-improvement, self-reflection is a core value of mine. I'd like to say I am self-aware, right? I know what I want, I guess. In fact, I say that in one of my profiles. I know what I want, and I hope you do too. Right? That's part of what I put into my profiles. Jay says, curious, good listener, open-minded, experimental. See, now that right there, Jay, you sound like somebody I would like to get to know, right? Simply putting things like that into your profile and then embodying those values during your conversations. And of course, later in this series, we will talk about, the first message and how to have those conversations, can make a huge difference between you get the sexy times fuckity fuck or whether you don't, right? What do you think your friends would say about you? Right? Even better, when you're creating your profile, ask your friends, even your vanilla friends, to describe you in 5 to 10 words. Sabyasachi says, kind, honest, geeky, inquisitive, curious, good listener. Also, that's really attractive, right? I love the geeky and inquisitive part. Jay says, unfortunately, no one reads my FetLife profile. Well, there are ways to get around that. I will tell you this. If you start sending really good messages, people are going to start reading your FetLife profile. And there's actually a video on the Dating Kinky YouTube channel that is called The First Message. If you do a search for it, you can find it, and it will walk you through the template for crafting a perfect and custom first message. And I will tell you this, if you start sending that message to people that you are actually interested in and think you might connect with, your response rate and your interest rate is going to go up. Sincerity and authenticity mean a lot. So again, I suggest asking your friends to describe you in 5 to 10 words. And if you ask multiple people and you find similar patterns, you're going to have a good idea of where to start with your profile and some of what the people who are already in your life that you adore love about you. So, hobbies and interests. When it comes to hobbies and interests, you probably have a wide range of activities that you love to do in your spare time. Some of these activities you want to experience with others, while some are more suited for going it alone. One of my favorite hobbies is hiking. There is nothing quite like hitting the trails and exploring the great outdoors. Whether I'm hiking in the mountains or strolling through a local park, being surrounded by nature is incredibly refreshing and rejuvenating for me. I love the feeling of accomplishment I get when I reach the summit of a mountain or complete a challenging hike. Of course, right now, I'm on restricted exertion thanks to my mastectomy healing, and it's pretty frustrating to me. I'm so impatient. But it doesn't change that I love doing it, right? And in addition to hiking, I enjoy cooking, reading, researching, debating, and discussing, traveling, and just spending quality time with friends. I'm hoping in the next year or two, my partner and I will get a puppy, and I'll be going back to a past hobby of mine, dog training. So what are your hobbies and interests, right? I'm not sure if you've caught on here, but when we talk about our characteristics, when we talk about our hobbies, we start to humanize ourselves and connect each other even through the pixels or the miles between us, right? You're getting a better feel for who I am as I'm talking about myself. And if you were reading about me in a profile, you would be saying, hey, I like hiking. This is something I'd be interested in, or maybe not. I don't like hiking, but I do enjoy mountain biking. So maybe that's something that, I could do while she hikes, which is how my partner and I often do things. Although he enjoys hiking as well, he enjoys mountain biking more. So vanilla hobbies matter. Sabyasachi says, love your Tavala experiments. On Facebook, I got this new kitchen gadget, and I've been testing it out and doing experiments with it and posting the experiments on Facebook. So again, that's something else that people get to learn about me. What about your relationships? Relationships bring us so much joy and fulfillment, but they can also be a little challenging at times. So, what does a rewarding relationship look like to you? Right? What are you looking for? You're going to want to give an outline to potentials viewing your profile. Are you looking for monogamy? A casual relationship? Maybe some fantasy fulfillment and fun times. Here are a few examples of relationship desires from my book. Do any of these resonate with you? I want to meet someone and be in a romantic love relationship and live together. We'll see how our relationship evolves. I don't have specific plans right now about what happens after we move in together. I want to meet someone and fall in a romantic love relationship with frequent companionship, but not live together. I like having my own place and I don't want to give it up. We should have similar schedules, for example, being available on weekends, and be able to enjoy occasional vacations together. I want to meet someone for a romantic relationship, live together, and start or blend a family. Marriage is mandatory. I want to meet several someones and enjoy companionship with a variety of people with or without sex. So here's a few more questions you can ask yourself. What are your must-haves in the relationship this profile is targeting right now? Does a long-term relationship have different needs than a play partner relationship for you? If so, for the purposes of the profile that you're thinking about right now, which of the following 15 aspects might be non-compromisables? Trust, communication, spiritual bond, deep intimacy, passionate sex, creativity, honesty, naughtiness, companionship, laughter, motorcycles. No, just kidding. Commitment, support. What about a shared religion or philosophy? Is there a particular relationship style you need? Or power exchange? Like relationship style. In this case, I'm referring to how you choose to do your relationshiping. Examples might be monogamous, non-monogamous, sexually monogamous, polyamorous, swinger, open, discreet. Are you willing to have an online only or long distance relationship? What distance are you willing to travel if you're willing to travel? This can be a big consideration when searching for the right kinky partner, as your best match may not live in your town. Or you may be lucky and they do. You never know. When my partner and I met, I was traveling 2 hours each way to go to parties in a different city. And he lived in that city. And so we spent the first couple of years of our relationship living 2 hours apart. That wasn't something I was looking for, but it ended up being something that really worked out for us. How flexible are you with your borders, right? Prior to that, I'd actually met somebody online who lived, I don't know, like 17 hours away, who wooed me for 6 months, came to visit. We decided this was a fit. And then we moved in together. We spent 4.5 years together. So how flexible are you with people that might really be a good fit for you? Feelings. When it comes to relationships, we all have different desires and needs, right? Some of us crave love and affection, while others prioritize respect and trust. What do you want to feel with a partner? Love? Affection? Respect? Passion? Something else? Maybe all of those, right? And if you haven't yet, before I continue, grab a copy of Dating Kinky for yourself and follow along. You can purchase it on Amazon for Kindle or Audible, narrated by the amazing NJ Cole, or you could get it in PDF, EPUB, or Mobi format free in our membership community by joining Dating Kinky. You can get the audio version as part of a Dating Kinky Plus membership. So back to the basics on this, but it's awesome if you can like sort of follow along and, you know, dig into your kinky dating journey. So dateable qualities. Here's a question for you. Would you date you? Of course, when it comes to dating, you're going to focus on what you want in a partner, but what draws others to you? These are different than your characteristics because it can take a while to really learn that you are kind or honest. These are the parts of you that I'm talking about that are easily discovered in the first meeting or in your messaging leading up to a coffee date, right? It's an important question to ask yourself if you want to build a profile that really works for you. So take a moment to think about it. What makes you stand out? Is it your sense of humor? Your intelligence? Or your charm? Maybe it's your passion for a certain hobby or ability to listen and ask meaningful questions. Whatever it may be, there's no doubt that people are drawn to you for a reason. Also consider why people you meet want to see you again. Perhaps it's because you make them feel comfortable and at ease, or they enjoy your sense of adventure or your lively humor. So what are some of your most dateable qualities? Now, Frank just said in the chat, it's not easy finding kinky women. So what kind of kinky women are you looking for? Does anybody else feel that kinky dating, finding a kinky partner is really difficult or is not easy? I'll raise my hand. Sure. It can be difficult finding the right match. Heck, it can be difficult to vanilla date, right? And then you add on all of these like fun, kinky, freaky things that we want to do with our partners. And that narrows our possibilities by a lot, like a lot. Frank says people that are open to exploration. Okay, Frank, so I'm going to pick on you a little bit here. Yeah, I just asked you a question and your answer is right? So let's say that there were, women, kinky women watching this and saying, hey, I'm a kinky woman. And then like, oh, well, open to exploration, but that's not really giving me any specifics, right? And I get that a lot. Like when people come to me and say, hey, could you help me with my profile, right? Because of course I run a kinky dating site, and I offer coaching and so on and so forth. And I go and I look at their profile, and their profile is like, I'm an open book. I'm here to really just, meet people and get to know people and maybe explore some of my kinky fantasies. Okay. Why should I care? And that's actually going to be a part of another episode. And if you do join Dating Kinky, by the way, we do have a profile, build your best kinky dating profile ever course. It's a little mini course. And one of the sections of that is tell me why I should give a shit. Right? Like, people online don't care about you, right? They don't hear you through all of the noise. They are tuned into their favorite radio station, WIIFM. What's in it for me? That guy over there says finding them is easy, finding connection is challenging. See, now there's another step, right? So the connection is the key. And that's what I'm trying to help you here with this series and with all the educational content, is to help you, A, make the connection on Dating Kinky or other sites, right? Like Dating Kinky is one option. There are a lot of options out there to make the connection, and then give you the tools and the education to help you make the most of that connection, right? To build that connection, to grow it, to make friends, to build your local community for you, the people that were going to be your ride or die kinky folks, right? Frank says, I'm still working on me and exploring, and that's good, right? But consider, how do you present this? Like, I am looking forward to, exploring these specific things. Like, what's your interest right now? What are you passionate about? What are you curious about? Right? That guy over there says Dating Kinky Plus is a great value. Thank you. And since you brought that up, let me tell you a little bit about our Plus membership. It's at getplus, getplus.datingkinky.com. If you love this content and want more education on not just kink, but love, sex, romance, communication, boundaries, whatever, there is no better offer than Plus. We not only give our Plus members an edge in the Dating Kinky app with like a little badge on the profile that shows they support us and are committed to and serious about connecting with others, we give them a boost in technology with saved searches and notifications when someone joins who matches specifications. We have group chats and video verification, video and audio chats, higher chat request limits. And then you also get access to all of my books, not just Dating Kinky, but Understand Me Now and That's an Order, FLR, Femdom and Women in Charge, It's Not Cheating, The Big Book of Ass, and more. And over 400 hours of educational webinars. Dating Kinky has you covered on learning everything you need to know to make the most of your connections, kinky and otherwise, no matter where you make them. For only $9.99 a month, $49.99 for 6 months, or $74.99 a year, which is 41% off, you get access to all of that, right? And content on power exchange, relationships, communication, rope, navigating the kink scene, mental health in kink, cuckolding, femdom, blah, blah, blah. And if you're not yet ready, although what are you waiting for, really? Please don't forget to like, love, or subscribe to me wherever you find me so you don't miss a single live. So thank you for that opening, that guy over there. Sabyasachi says, munches can be another way of introducing to meeting many people. That's how I got to know many things on kink, relationship, and also Dating Kinky. Absolutely. Munches, sloshes, educationals, 100%. And if you don't yet have an active community near you, start one. I run a local Discord. I started it last year with a couple of friends on March 5th. and we are over 1,000 people strong now. And these people have not only flooded to, the munches and the sloshes that have been here and the educationals and the events, but they have created and grown their own. There's now a queer orgy server. There's now a trans server. There's private party servers. So it just needs a spark, really. Neil says it's not easy finding women, period. What are you talking about? Women are everywhere. Everywhere. You just go outside and there are women. Women into what you want, women into you. Now, that's a different story. But again, how are you presenting yourself? How are you coming across to the women that you do interact with on a regular basis? I literally had a guy walk up to me at Walmart one day and tell me he found me attractive and hand me his business flyer. Heck yeah. That simple, right? It's not going to work for everyone. It's not going to work with everyone. But women are everywhere. Chances for connection are everywhere. Frank says, I'm with a couple sometimes. They want him to be a cuck, and I'm not sure my limits with still showing respect. Oh, yeah, that's a whole nother topic. Feel free to, shoot a message to help@datingkinky.com and ask a couple of questions. We have some resources that could help. But yeah, that negotiation and communication in a cuckolding situation is super, super key. And if they have not yet, really focused in on the negotiation, it could be that they're new to it, which means you probably need to tread even more carefully because you are also new to it. I've done it for nearly 10 years now, so we actually have it pretty down pat. So I've talked a lot about vanilla stuff, right? Who you are as a person. Now let's talk about a few kink-focused qualities that affect who might make a good initial match for you. For example, your out factor. How out are you? How open are you with family and friends about your lifestyle? If you're someone who is very open, with your family and friends about your kinky lifestyle, it's worth considering whether your potential partner will also be comfortable with that level of sharing, right? After all, if you develop a serious long-term relationship, your partner will likely become a part of your family and social circle. And therefore, it'd be important that they feel included and accepted, and that their need or desire for privacy is honored. If there are children involved or a contentious ex, it can be even more critical. Roger, hey Roger, good to see you. I think he's talking about women today seem to dislike men. Approaching women today is not as easy as it seems. Yeah, it is. It's absolutely easy. You may not want to approach women. You may not know how to approach women well, but it's actually pretty easy, pretty simple. In fact, I would suggest looking up, I have a video that I did, it's on the Dating Kinky channel, how to give compliments in 9 easy steps. That is a great way to start. But more than anything, start approaching people, giving compliments, and not having expectations. Now, for those women in the rooms or on the channels, let me ask you this. How does it feel when someone approaches you and you immediately get a vibe that they are coming in for the kill? Right? They're already objectifying you. They're already they know exactly what they want out of you, and you're a piece of meat, not even really a person, right? It does not feel good. But someone who just walks up and says, hey, I really love your swagger. Just wanted you to know that, and walks away. Okay, you're right. That's not a super connection, but you know what it does? Is it creates confidence and goodwill. And the more you get used to being able to approach people without expectations, the better you're going to be able to take advantage of connections that happen when you approach without those expectations, right? Oh, shoes. Okay. Open-minded, curious, and new. Sorry, for some reason the scroll on Moan was not scrolling for me. So yours said, I think women are humans, not cars. Women can be interested only to men who show respect and care. If men can't do that, they will have no connection with no women. I think that that's a good way of looking at it, right? A lot of women have learned kind of how to sense when somebody has ulterior motives. And also keep in mind that when you're approaching someone, even if you're super duper interested, right? When you're approaching someone, you're doing it on your timetable, right? They might be on their way to work. Their kid might be sick, their dog might be in the car or whatever. The idea is to get used to the idea of approaching, of starting conversations and not expecting anything out of it. You can do this. I've actually been on a forum for men to sort of uncover their sensual dominance and their authentic selves since 2007. And people can do this, right? You have to get out of your own heads, though. It's not going to happen if you're so wrapped up in your own mind and the possibility of rejection that you don't learn and you don't practice, right? That guy over there says, I'm hidden, secret, private. This name isn't even my kink name on other sites. See, there you go, right? By the way, for that guy over there, you might actually enjoy, if you haven't already, watching through the Dating Kinky Keeping Secrets series about maintaining your privacy online. We put that out there so that everyone has an opportunity to sort of like keep their data locked down, right? Okay, so lifestyle factors. When it comes to kink, everyone's experiences and preferences are unique, right? You might enjoy keeping your kink strictly in the bedroom, which there's nothing wrong with that. Yes, Vir Cotto, he's amazing. I'm glad you like that series. While others incorporate it into various aspects of their lives. My partner and I, we are 24/7. It is always a part of us. We might be out walking together and, dynamicking, for example. It all depends on what feels comfortable and fulfilling for you. And for those of you who enjoy exploring your kink beyond the bedroom, there are plenty of opportunities to socialize with other like-minded individuals, kink parties, munches, online communities, right? Like FetLife, provide safe spaces for people to connect and share their experiences. Local discords, like the one that I have for the RDU Triangle area in North Carolina. Good options for this sort of stuff. Roger says, privacy, what's that? LOL, this is my real name. On the other hand, you might prefer to keep your kink private and only engage in it with your significant other behind closed doors, right? Judgment or ridicule from others might be a factor. Or you may simply prefer to keep your intimate experiences to yourself and only delve into private kinky spaces to learn more and to get educated. Like these lives and our Plus membership community, for example. Whatever the reason, it's important to remember that everyone has the right to their own privacy. And a mismatch here could cause quite a bit of relationship strife, right? So I think that that's something that is important to be aware of when writing your profile. So do you have any questions about what we've covered today, or about kinky dating? I'm happy to take some general questions as well. Pop them into the chat if you're with me live. On Moan, I'm going to invite people to raise your hand. Come on up if you'd like to. Join me here. Would be fine. And a few more considerations. When it comes to exploring kink, there are different levels of experience that people can have. Whether you're a beginner or an experienced player, there's always something new to discover in the world of kink. The key is to be honest about your level of experience when searching out a potential mate, right? What you have done and what you're curious about. So I'm going to share with y'all. There we go. I'm going to pop over to FET, and I'm going to share with y'all my profile. Okay. I'm a hedonistic, dominant cuckoldress pimptress who is polyamorous and monoromantic. I enjoy making connections, and I'm open to new player sex partners if the connection is right. I tend to swoon over conversation, respect, flirting, and a sense of humor. Bring that with you in your first message, and you just might get somewhere. On to the details. I like them big. Big brains are a must. Big heart is important as well. I love big dogs. A big personality is a check for me and you. Big hopes, dreams, and goals. I know I have them. Let's see. About me. I'm a 38C, 30, 43, about a size 12. I'm curvy and many think I have a nice figure. I'm quirky, fun, and open. I'm also honest, even when it sucks. I'm not shy about sexuality, but I'm not an easy fuck. If you're simply looking for panties to get into, move on. I'm not a submissive, but don't call me goddess either. Nookie is fine, or Miss Nookie if you prefer to use an honorific. I collaborate well with dominant personalities and clash with domineering ones. I have an amazing partner and a fantastic group of kinky folk I love and who love me. I'm not really looking for more. If the connection is right, I'm open to possibilities. I specifically tend to be most open to new bull friends since my partner and I enjoy a cuckolding dynamic, or just interesting people without expectations beyond good company. What else? I'm sure I don't know. If you decide to message me, please include a note about what inspired you, aside from my photos, so I know you bothered to read this. Also, feel free to ask me what you will. I'm happy to answer and look forward to making more friends. Right? Now, I've actually had people on various sites tell me that my profile is the best written one they've ever read. Doesn't mean that they are matched to me, right? But I stand out. I catch their interest. Sabyasachi says, while approaching during dating, do we say about kink desires on the date, or would it be considered uncomfortable? What's your opinion? So if you are generally using like a vanilla dating site to meet people, what I usually like to do is I like to have somewhere in my profile a couple of buzzwords that somebody who is in the know might pick up on, right? So I'm starting the process there. And then during conversation, I usually like to like feel them out. Like I'll ask them questions about what their interests are, what they like to do for fun. And if we are really vibing, I might say, so are you open, as we, move down the line, if we really vibe, are you open to kink? Right? And just leave it at that. Like we don't have to talk about like a whole lot of specifics right now. I just wanted to throw that out there because if you're totally and completely against it, we're not going to be a good fit. Right? Because you don't really want to spend a lot of time investing in someone knowing that, like, for example, their religion or their morality prevents them from being a good match to you. But you also don't necessarily want to dig down super deep in that first like meeting unless you both seem really enthusiastic about the topic. Does that make sense? I tend to like to get things out there as quickly as possible. I had this past winter, I had done a quick, standout dating profile type thing for Kinkmas. And, I read my profiles from different sites, apps, that sort of thing. Every single one of them says something. Like, I tend to live an unconventional lifestyle. I'm more open to human sex and sexuality than other people. I tell people I'm non-monogamous, right? So they kind of know when they are connecting with me that I'm not the usual sort. Although a lot of people don't really know what all of those words mean. So it doesn't mean there's going to be a connection. It just means that, hey, I warned you, right? So, yeah. Okay, well, I don't see any additional questions right now. Let me just double check. Okay, the Moan chat is not scrolled some more. Thank you, all of you, for joining me today. If you love this discussion, please like and share it with others who would enjoy it online. I'm always honored when you recommend me to people. Follow me on FetLife as Nookie Notes, and share me there. And don't forget to follow or subscribe wherever you're finding me, so that you don't miss out on upcoming lives. And speaking of upcoming lives, so what have we got coming up? So tomorrow at 2 p.m., we start a boundaries double header. That will not be on Moan. It'll be on Facebook and YouTube. And it's going to be, is trust earned or is it given, at 2 p.m. Eastern. And then at 3 p.m. Eastern, normally I would be going into a private session with my Take No Shit workshop people, but we're actually going to go public live with this one. It's having a backbone can be anxiety inducing, building better boundaries with rejection sensitive anxiety. Special guest, Miss Betty. So I'm super excited about that. I'm glad that we can go do that one publicly. And then after about 7 to 10 days, I'll pull it down and put it in the Take No Shit archives. On Friday, I'll be doing, do you ask for permission to have relationships with others? It's not cheating. That will also be on Moan as well as YouTube and Facebook. Next week, Monday at 10 a.m. Eastern, Lucky in Love, a relationship is 50-50. Bullshit. Tuesday at noon, we're going to be talking about one badass bitch or whatever and building better boundaries. And Wednesday, 1 week from today at 7 a.m. Eastern, I will be doing I Prefer My Kink, paraphrasing 007, inspired, not enforced. And that one will also be on the Moan app. So, real pleasure again to have you all. Have an amazing day.